Welcome back to the Mami Show. This is your host Rohit. Today we have Aziz, the business coach and speaker. Thank you, Aziz, for getting into the show, man.
Thank you, Rohit, for having me. I appreciate it.
Go ahead and just give a quick bunch of intro of yours.
Absolutely. So I'm really started as a real estate agent. Started as a real estate investor, then I became a real estate agent, and gained some knowledge through the endeavors that I had as an investor, but then also as a real estate agent. And I became a managing broker, so I started my own office as well. So that really got me into training and coaching. I did 11 million in sales volume, 54 transactions in a single year. So I realized that I had some information of how to get the job done, how to be successful. And then that really led into other individuals wanting to know how I do what I do and how I did what I did. And it kind of like transitioned into the coaching.
What's the major persona you coach? Like, what's the business coaching looks like of yours?
Primarily, I'm focused on real estate agents is what I
Uh-huh.
focus on, and individuals that's in the financial consultancy world that want to get into the financial consultancy business and industry. Because I basically have two sides to my business. One, real estate, coaching agents, training agents, helping them grow. And
Mm-hmm.
then also helping individuals that want to get into the financial industry. So I really help both sides there.
How to get started into the real estate with no money?
How to get started in real estate with no money? Well, it's various ways. When you say no money, see, there's programs that are called down payment assistance programs that can help individuals with their down payments, so that they don't have to bring any money for down payment. But when you purchase a house, there's also what's called closing costs. So you have a down payment and you have closing costs because you got to pay all the fees and Uncle Sam, the taxes and things of that nature. And together, between the down payment and the closing costs, together, it's funds to close. So if you have a down payment assistance programs that covers your down payment, but then you have closing costs, right? Well, you can negotiate for the seller to give you what's called a closing credit to cover your closing costs. And that's one way that you can come to the table without any money, potentially. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's other ways individuals do wholesaling, is another method, right? To where
Airbnb.
they can get into real estate. Well, not just Airbnb. So wholesaling will be individuals that may have some equity in the property,
Uh-huh.
but maybe they're going through a foreclosure, they're in pre-foreclosure, behind on a mortgage or something of that nature. Maybe they have the house paid off. And
Uh-huh.
there's a method of they can, connect with the seller. Individuals can connect with the seller to market that house. But now in a lot of states, a realtor still has to be involved. So that's another way through wholesaling that individuals can get into real estate without any investment. When you talk about the Airbnb,
Mm-hmm.
there are some individuals that take on the mortgage and kind of like, hey, I'll rent this place from you
Yeah.
if you allow me to sublet it, right? And then they'll go the Airbnb route because maybe they're renting for 1,500, but maybe it's in a prime location, and
Yep.
they can, make more than 1,500 a month just
Mm.
from Airbnb in it. So that's another way as well, without having any money invested.
But I think if you want to play big, you need money,
Well, I
obviously.
mean, you could play big without money, right? But it's probably going to be in the sense of angel investors, right? If you find a great deal and there's individuals that have money to invest
Mm-hmm.
and they're looking for a great deal, where you could be the one that brings that deal to the investors, and they put in the money to facilitate that deal, and you don't invest anything. But when the profits and the property sold or whatever the case may be, then when the profits come, you can receive a portion of those profits, but you didn't invest a dollar.
But getting an angel investors is not an easy shit.
Nothing in life is easy, but everything is easy,
Yeah.
right? So it's not it's not hard to do, but if you have the connections already with those individuals, then that would
Uh-huh.
be great. If you don't have the connections with those individuals, I would say go find the deal
Mhm.
and then go and you'll find the investors. If it's a good deal, you'll find investors. So it's a level of work that has to be put into, I think, everything that we do. Some people can say, "Hey, it's going to be easy for you to start a podcast, right?" But yes, it's for the most part we can jump on a Zoom and right. But to create a successful podcast, that's like so everybody can do everything, but
Yeah,
there's going to be a level of work to reach
yeah,
the
yeah,
level of success that we want. And it's the same in every business,
yeah.
right? Yep.
How partnerships and collaborations work in business.
It could be, and it could be different for every business, but for the most part, exposure is major, right? Partnering and collabing with other individuals opens up exposure in one individual's network and another person's network, and it crosses them and brings them together, right? So it's a way of leveraging each other, right, to bring exposure. It might also be resources,
Uh-huh.
right? We come from where the country was at one point years ago before money. There was called barter and trade. I would trade
Hmm.
my cows for your pigs, my
That's real.
horses for your corn,
Yeah, barter
right?
system.
So yeah, it's still the same thing where you can experience barter and trade. Maybe they have a service that they can offer, and you have a service that you can offer. And instead of cash being exchanged, we just help each other out. So,
Yep.
partnerships and collaborations. Sometimes they say it's not about what you know, but it's about who you know. Right?
Yeah.
That's a saying that they have, right? And those partnerships and collaborations can help you to know more people, and for more people to know you as well. And we use that word a lot. We say merge ecosystems.
Yeah.
How can we merge ecosystems, right? That's another way of phrasing it. Absolutely.
What do you think, like, why networking is important?
And I mean, so that kind of feeds into the question you asked before about partnerships and collaborations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In order to have the partnerships and collaborations, you actually have to meet with people. You
Yep.
have to talk with them, right? You
Yep.
have to jump on a Zoom call. You have to do a lunch or right because people like to do business with who they know,
Yeah.
like, and trust, right? And it's very difficult for them to get to know, like, and trust you from a text message,
It's
right? Or
real.
from an email, right?
Yep.
And even if we're doing text message and email and social media, we want to use video. We want to
Mm.
use pictures. We want to give them a sense of what our life looks like so that they
Personal
can know,
life.
like, and trust us, right? So, but nothing, in my opinion, beats belly to belly, right? Being right there in front of somebody else, they're in front of you. You can shake their hand, right? You can see their style of dress, their hair, the
Yeah.
color of their eyes, whatever. Like, tell a joke, they laugh. Like it's nothing. No matter how much technology we have, nothing
Yeah.
is ever going to outweigh, uh, that human physical connection.
What's the difference between the business credit and business loan, and what you recommend?
Yes. So, yeah, on the financial consultancy side of things, um, a lot of people will come to me and they say, "Hey, Aziz, I want some business credit," but I have to ask them and I have to explain the difference between the two because most times they want a business loan,
Yeah.
okay, because they need something immediate. They're looking to build. They're looking to take that capital and use it as leverage because money is just a tool,
Mm.
right? And they're looking to use that as leverage to launch their business or expand their business, right? So in that case, you're looking for an immediate influx of cash into your business. You're looking for a business loan or business line of credit, okay? Uh, but business credit and building business credit. See, this can come in the form. This is actually because your business has a credit score very
Mm.
much like your Social Security has a credit score, your EIN number has
Yeah.
a credit
Yeah.
score, right? It's different from the personal. So um, you have to build that, and that might be through vendor lines of credit. That might be through business credit cards, and it
Uh-huh.
might be through business loans, right? But what's very important in that most people don't understand this because they think if they go out and they get a business loan or they go get a business credit card or a business vendor line of credit, they think that they're building business credit. Not necessarily, because 90% of the vendors do not report to the business credit bureaus,
Yeah.
right? It's only about 10% that actually do. So going to get a business credit card doesn't necessarily mean that you're building business credit, right? So you have to be very strategic because we see what happens with our personal credit cards. And every personal credit card we have, basically every loan we get, it goes and it starts reporting to our personal credit under our social security number. That is not the case when it comes to building business credit, right? So you got to be very particular on the cards that you get to in loans that you get to build if the purpose is to build business credit, because you don't want to just take on debt for your business but not build the business credit at the same time, because now the business is taking on debt but you're not building a score, which means you can't really leverage your business to get more capital and more leverage like you really want to because your
Yep.
score is not growing. Yep. So it's two different things for sure.
And what do you recommend? Want to go for business loan or business credit?
It depends on that person's situation. If they need an immediate influx of cash right then and there, then I say, hey, look, maybe we need to look at a startup business loan, startup capital loan. If they say, hey, well, I don't really need an immediate influx of cash, but I want to start building up my business credit. So when it's time for me to get a loan, I can get that loan solely under my business EIN number, completely separate from my social security number. I want to
Uh-huh.
prep myself and prepare myself and build my business to the level that I want it to be now. So when that time comes, I'm ready. Then we look at building business credit. If they need cash now to expand, we look at a business loan, business
Cool.
startup capital loan.
So how to grow and scale a business?
I guess it all depends on the type of business that you have. That's when I'm coaching and I'm mentoring, I really break down an individual's particular business
Hmm.
and see what they do in their business. But I guess if I was saying it in general, find a way to duplicate. Find a way to duplicate yourself, because it would be great if we had 10 of us. It would be great if we had 20 of us. So find a way to duplicate yourself because we only have 24 hours in a day. So how can I duplicate myself to get more out of this day, right? How can I get more eyes on my business, right? A lot of people are thinking, how can I make money? But that's not where they should start. They should really start on uh, how can I create more exposures to my business, right? And if I can do it as cheap as possible, or as free, or as cost effective as possible, right? Then that's going to maximize my exposures and reduce my cost
Hmm.
to operate my business. It's just like a billboard, a sign on the side of a bus, a commercial that's running. You got to be in the face. We all have to be in the face of our consumers to let them know that we're there and we're open for business. And that's how we're going to scale and grow our business. Because everywhere we look, if there's individuals watching this call right now, they'll probably look around a room and there's some type of brand in front of them. There's a brand right here on this laptop. There's a brand sitting right here on my desk, right?
Hmm.
I'm looking at your hat. Your hat has a brand on it. There's a brand everywhere we look. So there you go, right? Brands, right? So like we're fighting the noise because everywhere we look, there's so many brands that we block them out. We don't
Yep.
even recognize them anymore because they're everywhere. On the
Hmm.
side of buses, driving down the street, on our backpacks, everywhere, right? If we look at the radio in our car, it probably has a brand name of that radio, manufacturer. Our
Yeah.
car is a brand name, right?
Yeah.
So we have to stay in front of the consumer and fight against all these other brands to gain and grab attention. That's why these companies pay so much money to put their ads on the Super Bowl or the NBA championship because
Yep.
they know a lot of people are going to be watching, and that's a chance for everybody to see their brand.
So do you have any best advice for any business owner?
One of the biggest things, that I see in business, entrepreneurs that want to become business owners or beginner entrepreneurs, is that a lot of times they aren't very clear. They're not very clear on their mission. Put together a mission statement, put together a goal. The other thing, and get very clear about what you want to do, very intentional, not so broad range, like really narrow it down what you're going to be good at. Don't be a jack of all trades, be the
Yep.
master of something.
You cannot.
master your skill,
We
right?
can.
So that's very important, is to get very clear and then understand it may not your business may not take off in the first 6 months. It may not take off in the first 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. It might take 6 years,
Hmm.
right? Understand that if you're doing something, do not do it temporarily. Understand you have to be married
Long term.
to your industry, to your craft, right? It takes about 5,000 hours to become an expert in anything, right? So you're talking
Hmm.
about, was it 5 or 7 years? So you have to be married to your craft for you to become good at it. The
Yeah.
worst thing that they can do is start, stop, and try something else. Start, stop, and try something else. Figure out what you want to do, stick with it,
Yeah.
go hard, no matter the rough times, good times, the ups, the downs, keep going,
Yep.
persevere, and push through.
That's all, Aziz. Well, man, it was good to talk to you and having you into the show, man. And thank you so much for having into the show and sharing these insights.
Man, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Die Hard Friends, I'm gonna be looking for the brand. Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta get
it's
me one
real.
of those hats. I got another clothing line too. It's called Beast Mode 1440, right? So
Uh-huh.
I should have worn my shirt here as well.
No, I think we will be distributing the merch of Die Hard Friends and Man when we get into the upcoming couple when we cross 10,000 subscribers on the YouTube. Go and check it out and smash the like button and just subscribe to the YouTube channel and all the buttons into the podcast and so on. And we will be distributing and giving away a bunch of things in upcoming weeks and so on. Well, man, thanks, Aziz, and that's all, man. Thank you so much for having into the show.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.